Hi there, it's Marie, and this is Real Life on the Homestead in Ontario. Now, as I promised when I first started my channel, this is about real life. You will learn our trials, our tribulations, what we've made happen, and what we failed at. Because if we can help you avoid some of the mistakes we've made, then I know that I'm helping somebody out there, and that was my goal. So as I'm sitting here in the evening, just going through all the plant order magazines that have come in, I'm sure you recognize them because you're probably getting them too. I thought, whoa, I have to share this with you. When we first started our garden here, and I know that everybody's on this same bandwagon because Facebook groups, YouTube, everybody's talking about my seeds. I'm ordering my seeds. I'm getting this. I'm getting that. Truth is, don't waste your money. Only buy what you will grow and what you will eat. You don't need to have 30 types of tomatoes unless you have like 30 kids. The truth is, pick what you will grow, what you will eat. I find that these magazines are just so well done because they make everything look so beautiful, so attractive. And you see people tabbing all these magazines. I'm ordering this, I'm ordering that. Your bill ends up being several $100s. I've been there. I've been stupid. I'm trying to avoid you making the same type of mistake. So there's no reason that you need to order everything that looks so gorgeous and beautiful. Think about what you use, what your family enjoys. If you don't like kale, don't grow kale because everybody else is growing kale. If you don't like beans, don't grow beans. And it comes to everything. Everything in the same way. You should grow what you will eat. You should grow what you're able to preserve because that's an important thing. You can grow 600 pounds of potatoes. But if you have no plan on how you're going to store those, unless you can eat 600 pounds of potatoes in a couple of months, they're going to go off on you. So always think of a few steps ahead. How will you use them? How will you preserve them? Will your family enjoy these things? It's okay to have a few trial vegetables or fruits that you're just curious about. For example, I wanted to try and grow melons. My brother has tried for many, many years and never had success. So I had some melon seeds from a variety. It's a European variety that I really love. It's kind of like a cross between a cantaloupe and honeydew. Just delicious. But anyway, I wanted to try it, and I made an effort to grow it from seed, plant it in the garden, watch over it, and I was successful. I ended up with 3 melons, not a lot, but I learned from it. I know what worked and what didn't, so I will be able to progress in the future. If there's something like that you're interested in, by all means, try it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is very easy to get sucked in with all these magazines. And you just complete the order form, and next thing you know, your bill is $400 or $500, and the stuff comes, and then you gotta plan it. Here's the next problem. You have to have a way to grow your seeds, and you also have to plan their gestation period and when you're able to put them out in the garden. Everybody who's talking about starting their seeds now in January in Ontario, you're on crack because your seeds are going to grow and be ready, and it's going to be still cold outside. Our last frost last year was the second week of June. So what I do for our zone is I look at what the projected last frost will be, and then I work backwards on how long this seed will take to germinate. So what you're going to do, did I say gestate before? I don't think that's the right word. Anyway, This is real life. I make mistakes. But anyway, what we're doing is you look at how long something will take to germinate, and then the hardening off period, and then you'll put it in your garden. So do the calendar math from seed start to germination to growth to hardening off and getting it in the garden. And again, you're working from your last projected frost, because we never know, and you're working backwards. So January to start seeds, I don't think so. And I've been watching this on Facebook groups, and I just roll my eyes because people aren't thinking, and then all those seeds that you've just spent all this money on are wasted, because they'll grow, they'll get leggy, they'll die off, and there goes your money. So what I'm trying to do is get people, or encourage people, to think about what will work for you. Again, make sure that everything that you plant is something you would eat. Don't plant it because it's pretty or because it's trendy. Plant it because your family will eat it and enjoy it. Make sure that it works in your climate zone. We are in 3B, I believe, but I always plant as if we were in 3A, because I try to err on the side of caution. And make sure you have enough of a growth season. We are trying to get a greenhouse in this year. We've been trying for years, and just seems that something always comes up. But if your growth period is not long enough for that vegetable, you're going to end up with something like a lot of green tomatoes. And then you're going to need to figure out how you're going to use those green tomatoes, or if they're going to get wasted. And it's the same with other plants. So from our mistakes, it's don't overbuy seeds. Buy what you will use. Make sure that if you are starting from seed, that you're working your schedule so that you're starting the seed at the right time. Make sure that you have a spot to grow these seeds. You can't have 400 plants and nowhere to put them. If you don't have a greenhouse, you better have a good sunny window and a heat mat. And seedlings take up a lot of room. You think, oh, it's a small plant, but the trays are larger. So make sure you have the room to do it. And if you don't, there is nothing wrong with getting young plants. If you don't want to get them from a garden center, which I prefer not to, there are a lot of homesteaders in different areas who start the seeds in their greenhouses and then sell the small plants. Help support them. And that way you're not starting all these seeds and, err on the side of screwing up because you've already got a little plant. So if you want to try something like a cabbage that you've never had before and you want to try it, but you're iffy, and somebody has a young plant, seedlings, go for it rather than starting from seed from scratch. Another thing is my experience. This is my personal experience. Remember, I'm sharing with you what I've gone through. If you are planting cucumbers, beans, I think there's one more thing that I can't think of now, squash. Those things, no, squash is not included. So cucumbers and beans. Absolutely, there is very little advantage to starting them indoors. I actually did a little trial last year where I started some of my beans in pots indoors. And then when I had a seedling about that long, I hardened it off, planted it outside, and beside it, I planted a bean right into the ground. Within 2 to 3 weeks, they were the exact same size. So there was no advantage to doing that. With cucumbers, I found that transferring them, the rate of failure after transplanting them is very high. So I have found that doing those outside also, like plant your seed directly into the ground, it works best. And that's my area and that's my experience. Now, squash, I've planted indoors and transplanted as well as planted outside. And my trials and tribulations, I have found that it's best to do one plant and one seed right beside each other. I'd rather have two than not have any at all. And it really depends on the watering. So make sure that you are watering those seeds and young plants often. If they dry out, they are gone. So the purpose of this video really was because I've been getting all these magazines, or I guess they're catalogs, vegetable catalogs. Been getting all of these, and we all know these names because these are the major ones that most people deal with in our area. We're getting these, you're getting these Facebook posts and groups of let's get those seeds started and getting all hyped up. I know it's January and you want it to be spring and you're getting excited and the holidays are over, so what next? But slow down. Take a step back, think logically, save your money so that you can live your best life. We'll talk to you next time. I hope this has made you think before acting on all those seed purchases. We'll talk soon.